Alright, here we are for round one with Panharmonicon. Let's turn this off, sorry about that, but that's going to annoy me the rest of the trip if we don't turn that toolbar off. Ooh, I think this is a definite mulligan. Like, if I had an untapped land, I think it'd be completely fine, but I'm just going to go ahead and ship it. This hand is fine. I mean, obviously, we only have one land, but we have a Fatal Push, we have a Gift of Everborn. If they're playing an aggressive deck, it's a reasonable hand. Looks like we might be up against tokens, though. Okay, we drew a Swamp. See who we're up against. We could be up against, like, green-white aggro or something. I think that's what we would want to play against. Looks like we're up against a tokens deck, though. Does he have a Temet? No, or Martyr of Dusk. Okay, it's actually a little annoying, because I'm going to Fatal Push something. I think I'm just going to Fatal Push the Vampire. I want to keep him off of the ability to flip the Legion's Landing, and I might be tapping out, though. I guess to be fair now, pretty much need to hit running lands or I'm screwed. Or Dusk Legion Zealots into lands. Marvin Fane. Okay, so up against a white-blue Vamp deck. I get to just eat his guy, but he can flip the Legion's Landing next turn. Oh! I almost F6 my turn there. I think we didn't. Because we breathe some life here. If he wants to flip his Legion's Landing, he has to lose his Marvin. Unless he's got removal, and then we're just super dead, probably. Ketra's Monument, interesting. He might actually just flip it, I don't know. He might need the mana. But probably not. Really need to draw a land. If we draw a land... Oh boy. It's like an infinite loop, right? Oh, another permanent, okay. If he has another one, though, that's when it gets really gross. But he can return the Legion's Landing, which is pretty awesome. So, basically gonna need to hit a land here. But if we land our Panharmonicon, we can start doing kind of broken things, so... Okay. Now we might die. Oh, Fatal Push is reasonable. I suppose I don't want to use it because I can maybe block with my Zealot and then use it. Or like he might go for a Chef at Dunes or something. And we can kind of get an advantage that way. Ixalan's Binding is pretty gross. But I will be able to kill the Marvin, I suppose. Oh, but he's going to get the Legion's Landing to flip. Yeah, this is going to be problematic. I mean, eventually I can Field of Ruin it, maybe, but this is not going to be pretty. Okay, block. Alright, we need a land. Get a land. I think I probably need to stem the bleeding. If I play Panharmonicon, I'm taking, like, this Chef at Dunes is just too much, probably. Okay, we get a Sky Marcher Aspirant. Which is actually fine. I kind of wanted a cheap spell, because we're going to be tapping out for a while, presumably. The Adanto's Castle is going to be pretty hard to beat, unless I draw Field of Ruin. Chef at Dunes is obviously good, too. Is that what he's doing here? Okay. That's why this is good, because now if I draw a land, I can deploy that. He doesn't really have a great attack. I mean, I suppose this is fine. We got his Chef at Dunes, so that's good. Ooh, land's good. I think we go with Panharmonicon here. Because basically he probably should have been activating the Adonto, because every turn that he didn't, every turn that he doesn't activate that, like, is good for us, kind of, in a way. Because he could have just waited and eventually Chef at Dunes, but could be in trouble against another Chef at Dunes. As soon as I untap, though, we're gonna get it on. Scarab God. I suppose I just run that out there. I could hostage take her. But I don't really need to hostage take or anything right now. And I could, like, maybe get Marvin out of his graveyard, or like a 4/4 Marvin, and start attacking with it. So. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm almost at Ascend as well. Not that that really matters that much. I just have to survive, like, next turn, I think. I'm feeling pretty good about my spot. The one problem with this play is it gives him a 1-turn window to, like... If he has an Ixalan's Binding on my Scarab God, I still don't die, actually. But I go pretty low. He's building up cards in hand, too. Okay, whatever. Is not that great against us. I can even maybe start attacking. Because I can just... If I draw a land, I can play Noxious Gearhulk. If not, I can return Marvin. Okay, now we're talking. What's kind of funny is I can hostage take her, and then I can bounce the hostage taker with Mechanic, which is pretty sweet. Wow, this is going pretty well. So, I don't really know what the best thing to do is. If I get Marvin back, I start, like, scrying and gaining some life slowly. Like, if I get the reason I want to get Marvin back is I get, like, 2 tokens per turn or whatever. But I think I'd rather just start attacking my opponent, because I don't really want to get in a position where he goes off with, like, Cloud Blazers and Mechanics and stuff. I'm not going to attack with the Gonti just because 2 damage is pretty insignificant. And I, you know, don't want him to get a good attack in, even though it's pretty likely that he doesn't have one. Could have something weird like Nimble Obstructionist or something. Okay, Conquistador is actually fine. Like, obviously it's going to fill the board, but I can kind of... That was an eventuality, basically. And right now I can actually deal with it. He's going to get a pretty wide board, though, so we're going to have to go into, like, defense mode for a little while. But it's really not that big of a deal. Maybe it is a big deal, but I feel pretty comfortable still. I think that was probably had to have been his bet. Like, if he didn't draw that this turn, though, I can be a little disappointed, because if he didn't draw that this turn, I think he would just be so far behind the next time he had something like that. So we really just want to draw lands. I think if we draw lands, game's gonna end pretty quick. Like, land this turn allows me to hostage taker, Conquistador or whatever, and play it. Okay, nice. Oh, I can take the Monument. Oh, God, I can take the Monument? I probably should have done this last turn. Wow, that's big. That's a huge game. So I can cast the Monument, and then I can cast this, and I can get a 1/1 out of it. Or I can just play it safe. I think I'm pretty safe, though, so I think I'll just play the Monument. That way he can't get it back. And a Chef at Dunes doesn't kill me. Puts me to 5, so... Okay, he had another one. I mean, I don't mind taking a little gamble there. And I can get his Avery mechanic, and I can bounce the Hostage Taker. That's hilarious. I don't think this game's gonna end well for him, though. He is doing a pretty good job of going wide. So. So I think what I'll do is I'll just draw. Nice, a land. Perfect. So this costs 2, right? Oh, and it happens twice, doesn't it? This actually happens 2 times. Kind of want to start attacking him. Can't really ever block that. I'm not... I don't think I can die to a Chef at Dunes because we've got 5 versus... Well, I guess I have 6, which includes the Hostage Taker, so... It's pretty nice that when I Hostage Taker, like, his, stuff, it costs 1 less, potentially, so next turn I can really go off. I mean, I don't think it really matters. He could have a very weird card in his deck that, like... Is there a card, like a Deluge kind of card, that taps all creatures? I don't think so. I'm actually very unfamiliar with Standard, but I think my opponent is playing kind of like a rogue deck. I wonder what the blue is for. It's probably for, like, Cloud Blazer. Seems reasonable. In the Monument deck. Hopefully he doesn't have some sort of Deluge, Cryptic Command kind of card. I don't think he will. Also, I think I'm gonna, even though he's got a million things in play, like I said, I'm gonna start killing him pretty fast, especially now that I can activate Scarab God twice a turn. And Marvin. Marvin will start doing work for me. I can get the mechanic back, which returns the Hostage Taker. And then I can just not use the second one. Untap Upkeep. Don't think I really need to do anything here. Another Panharmonicon? Sure, I guess. Yeah, I just want lands, really. Okay, we'll bottom it. We'll bottom it. I don't think we need it. So... This. Let's steal Marvin. Let's steal the Martyr. I think I'm just going to cast them both. I like playing Marvin because I want to kind of get out of range. I want to start to get out of range. I need to be careful about Chef at Dunes, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 blockers versus 12 attackers, and he probably is going to chump. So. Oh, and I get 1 more. Wait, did this not trigger? Oh, this is no longer... Oh, this is no longer a dwarf. Interesting. I thought it kept its creature types. Except that it's a zombie, man. I thought it was zombie in addition. That's something that I'm glad I learned. I should have attacked with the Conquistador as well. Obviously a punt. What's he gonna get? He's gonna get Marvin. Alright. Doesn't really matter. I'm gonna get another Marvin back. Sure, let's take the hostage taker. Sure, set him up to kill him next turn. Could probably attack with more to play around like a Wrath. But I have Scarab God, so I'm not actually afraid of a Wrath, so... Sometimes the tokens decks play Fumigate, but he's more of a Vampire deck. I guess they could also have Settle, so that's kind of... You need to maybe be a little bit careful. Kind of just draining him to death, though. Okay. He's just super dead now, huh? Ooh, that's actually brutal. I can no longer play Hostage Takers. So the next card is Fatal Push. Get the Zealot back. I think I can just, like, attack with everything. It doesn't matter. It's funny that Marvin doesn't trigger himself when he's a zombie. All right, solid showing for our first game. I think that Scarab God is just disgusting, and like, if you're playing standard, you should just play the Scarab God. Seems really good to me. Okay. We got there. So we can't, I mean, we're blue-black, so we can't really interact with artifacts. Fatal Push actually doesn't seem that great. Gonti seemed pretty good, because it blocks pretty well. And Chupacabra is, like, kind of medium against the token deck. So I could see switching one for one. And Champion of Wits is pretty bad. Just because he's got lots of 1/1s. So let's shave one of those for a Harvester. I think that's probably good. Oh, we want to cut Fatal Push, right? Gifted Etherborn was actually pretty pivotal for us. I think negate actually could be good. Protect Scarab God, protect me from like Settle. Protect me from Ixalan's Binding and Wrath of God and stuff out of the board. Maybe Duress is better because it gets Monument. My assumption is that negate is just better because it's kind of more of a blowout. Like they plan, this is a funny hand, they plan on like doing a play like a Fumigate or a Settle, and you actually have the answer. Where Duress, like you can Duress it, and if they have 2 copies, it doesn't work. Or I guess this is like barely a keep. Field of Ruin is okay against them because it deals with the Legion's Landing. I guess he is pretty aggressive. So maybe I should let the Fatal Pushes in. It just seems like his cards are like 1/1 tokens and Martyr of Dusk, stuff I don't really want to Fatal Push. Okay, this is... Adando's Vanguard is interesting because it's like the reason. It's basically the reason to play a Vampire deck. Like when you draw it, the deck is so much better than otherwise. I wonder if he's got a basic island in there. Can maybe blow up his Glacial Fortress, cut him off blue, though I haven't seen a blue card yet. In my mind, I think it's probably a Cloud Blazer, but... You know, this is gonna hurt. I might just be dead, unfortunately. Pretty surprised he kept that card in. I guess, like, I am siding at Etherborns or whatever. So... pretty much dead to anything here. I suppose I can draw Hostage Taker or Chupacabra or something. Assuming he's got more basics in his deck, I'll just wait till end of turn. To use the Field of Ruin, just to thin my deck a little bit. Though, I suppose there's actually, it's probably better to keep it. Because if the game goes really long, I might need to kill multiple Legion's landings, and thinning my deck 1 is probably not worth it. I'm supposed to actually play the Panharmonicon, because one of the ways I win is by drawing like a Hostage Taker immediately. So I actually want that into play, even though it costs me 2 damage. If he doesn't have a creature this turn, I could actually still easily win, but it seems unlikely that that's the case. He might have like an Ixalan's Binding. Oh, Angel Invention? Okay, I'm just dead. I mean, I'm going to 1, and I don't have outs at that point. I guess I could have maybe won if I drew like a Chupacabra and he didn't make 1/1s, but I can't imagine him not making 1/1s. I should have obviously let it happen. So, I don't really like Negate that much. I don't really like Fatal Push. Like, it's weird, but I think that I want to play things to the board, and Fatal Push doesn't help me there. I actually think that Gifted Etherborn is just going to draw the game out. And it's a really good card when they have like an Legion's Landing going, because it buys you tons of time. So I think I'm going to play it like this. I've got 2 Bane Whips to deal with the 2/1 flyer. I think Duress is okay, but I think on the play, I'd rather just get on the board. It's possible I should have another Chupacabra in. Oh man, we haven't had a keepable 7-card hand. This hand's good though. Dusk Legion Zelda is pretty nice if he's got his 1-drop. Any of his 1-drops, I guess. Gearhulk actually isn't that good against him. I think this is kind of questionable. Perhaps I should play, be playing like a Chupacabra, or like a Duress or something cheaper instead. Or obviously, actually, I think I'm gonna play, well, if I play a freebooter, I'm more likely to hit like a monument or something, but I kind of want to, I might want to play this next turn. Okay, negate, that doesn't do anything against me. Ixalan's Binding or Baffling End. So he can Baffling End the freebooter if he wants to. It's not a great use of his time. But if I take the Baffling End, he can't do anything. So that's probably going to be the right call. If I take the Binding, though... Yeah, I really don't care about... I'm just going to take the Binding, I think. It can eventually hit a Scarab God. I mean, he can just Baffling End this to get it back. Which is why it's like... Maybe I'm supposed to... Well... Did I mess that up? If I take the Baffling End, then, like... This is good because it allows me to eventually draw... Well, is this good? This is actually just bad. Because in the other scenario, I'm just attacking him for 1 every turn. So I think I messed that up, actually, but it's okay. Okay, there's a Hostage Taker. I don't know what I was thinking. Also, it forces him to play the Martyr, and then I can Bane Whip it, which is pretty nice. I think I want to save the Hostage Taker for the Angel. Even though that's risky play. Oh, he's got the Binding. I can't actually do that. I can't actually do that. Wow, he's really just not playing his guy. Okay, well. I think if I play this, he'll play it, probably. I can pitch this Noxious Gearhulk. I'm definitely going to pitch this other champion. Another freebooter actually seems reasonable. So let's get rid of the Gearhulk, just because we're pretty far away from casting it. I wonder why he wouldn't play the Martyr. Does he have... Did he draw like a Fumigate or something? There's the Martyr, okay. The Martyr does shut me down a little bit. But I'm going to just freebooter him. If he plays like Angel and makes tokens and I can Bane Whip it, it's kind of interesting because I'm not actually sure. Oh, I see. He wanted to hold up Negate. That was my bad. He was obviously just holding up Negate. Not that it was like good or bad decision, but I should have known. This whole wall, I hate how like it gives you so many different cards. So, do I offer the trades here? Probably, because then I can just Bane Whip the token. This is going to be pumped by the Angel of Invention, is the thing. So probably what I should do is just attack with this, because then if he plays Angel next turn, I can block with Champion, assuming he doesn't block. So if he plays Angel, I'm just going to play the Hostage Taker and hope he doesn't like rip a Binding. And even if he does, it's not the end of the world. I have a bunch of 1/2s. He might also make a Giant Flyer. I find it kind of unlikely, but... Like, I have a ton of inevitability now that I have 2 Champion of Desks. Or Champion of Wits in my graveyard. Okay, he makes 2 2/2s. Makes sense. Yeah, I think I still do this. He's got a Chef at Dunes. Does that change anything? I could Bane Whip it, but if he wants to activate his Chef at Dunes, like main phase or whatever, I think that's going to favor me most of the time, so... He can just play another Angel, so there's no reason to leave either of these back. I can't afford to double block. Give him a binding back. So now any land's great. Even if I don't draw a land, though, I get to Bane Whip the Angel. And we already have one of the bindings out of his deck. He probably doesn't even play 4. Probably plays 2 or 3. I've seen a lot of people playing like 2 bindings and like 2 Thopter Arrest, so, or like some cast outs also. He's going to attack. I can just block. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully we just draw a land so we don't have to sweat. Okay, that's nice. I think I actually want tokens. Or, sorry, look, counters. It's a bit greedy, but I kind of like winning in the air. And now we're in great shape. Even if he draws like a binding or whatever. Oh, he's chumping? Oh, that's bad. I don't know. I think he didn't realize that my guys were pumped. And he wanted to get his Ixalan's binding back, so this is going to get pretty ugly for him pretty quick. I can actually Field of Ruin that Chef at Dunes. I didn't even think about that. That's probably what I'll do. I've got a pretty healthy life total, so I don't think I can possibly lose now. But if I kill that Chef at Dunes, it's a lot less likely that he can ever attack me. Though even, I have the Angel. Like, there's really not, it's not going to, like, if I draw a land, I'm definitely not going to do it, but he does have a lot of Conquistadors. It's just weird that I haven't seen a blue card out of him. It might just be, like, negates, because it's kind of free, and then you almost, if you played mono white, you probably want the cycle lands anyway. These fly, but I can just kill one with the Punisher. Okay, well, I guess I'm not going to be killing the Chef at Dunes, because I have a better play. So he could actually win with a Fumigate if he has that in his... I mean, I don't think the Vampire deck has that, but they do have a Danto's Vanguard. Like, I've seen weirder things. It's going to just blow up everything, and he gets in a gate and an Ixalan's binding back. I do have the 2 Champion of Wits in my graveyard, though, so I think I still would probably win, because if I draw any land, then I win from that point most of the time, and I have a pretty healthy life total buffer. So, yeah, I think I probably would beat a Fumigate, actually. I mean, eventually I would just draw a land, and Champion of Wits would win me the game. And I still have the Ethersphere Harvester, too. So any non-land would, like, get this online. Okay, Conquistador's in. Scarab God, sure. Play that. Crew. Four-six flyer. Actually, is he just dead in the air? No, you can block this. You can block the Angel or whatever. He's not scooping, so it makes me feel like he probably does have Fumigate, but the Scarab God gives me even more protection. I guess it would, like, I keep saying Fumigate, but it's actually much more likely that he has Settle the Wreckage. But 2 of his cards are Conquistadors, so, like, if he doesn't tap out, you know, I kind of know. Sweet. Not a bad showing.